Our next speaker is the first senior in the competition. He's reciting a piece that is near and dear to the hearts of many, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God by Jonathan Edwards, performed by Alex Dallaire.
The wrath of God is like great waters which are dammed for the present. They increase more and more and rise higher and higher till an outlet is given. And the longer the stream is stopped, the more rapid and mighty is its course once it is let loose. 'Tis true that judgment against your evil work has not been executed hitherto. The floods of God's vengeance have been withheld. But your guilt in the meantime is constantly increasing. And every day you are treasuring up more wrath. The waters are continually rising and waxing more and more mighty. And it is nothing but the mere pleasure of God that holds the waters back, that are unwilling to be stopped and press hard to go forward. If God should but remove his hand from the floodgate, it would immediately fly open, and the fiery floods of the fierceness and wrath of God would rush forth with inconceivable fury, and would come upon you with omnipotent power. And if your strength were 10,000 times greater than it is, yea, 10,000 times greater than the strength of the stoutest, sturdiest devil in all hell, it would be nothing to withstand or endure it. The bow of God's wrath is bent, and the arrow made ready on the string. And justice bends the arrow at your heart and strains the bow. And it is nothing but the mere pleasure of God, and that of an angry God, without any promise or obligation at all, that keeps the arrow from being one moment made drunk with your blood. Thus are all you that have never passed under a great change of heart by the mighty power of the Spirit of God upon your souls. Those that were never born again and made new creatures, being raised from sin to a state of new and before altogether unexperienced light and life. However, you may have reformed yourself in many things and may have religious affections and may keep up a form of religion in your closets and families and in the house of God, and may be strict in it. You are thus in the hands of an angry God. And there is no other reason to be given why, but that it is his pleasure why you don't this very moment get swallowed up into everlasting destruction. However unconvinced you may now be of the truth of what you hear, by and by you will be fully convinced of it. Those that were being in like circumstances with you see that it was so for them. For destruction came suddenly upon most of them, when they expected nothing of it, when they were saying, peace and safety. But now they know that those things that they relied on for peace and safety were nothing more than thin air and empty shadows. The God that holds you over the pit of hell, much as one holds a spider or some loathsome insect, abhors you and is dreadfully provoked. His wrath towards you burns like fire. He looks upon you as worthy of nothing else but to be cast into the fire. He is of purer eyes and to bear to have you in his sight. And yet you are 10,000 times more abominable than any serpent or most hateful insect is in ours. And yet you have also offended him infinitely more than a stubborn rebel ever did his prince. And yet it is nothing but his hand that keeps you from falling into the fire every moment. To ascribe to nothing else that you did not go into hell the last night, that you were suffered to awake again in this cruel world, that you did not, and that there is no other reason to be given why you haven't this very moment dropped down into hell. There is no other reason to be given why you have not dropped down into hell since you have come and sat here in the house of God, provoking his pure eyes with your sinful, wicked manner. Yea, there is no other reason to be given why you don't this very moment drop into hell. O sinner, consider the fearful danger you are in. 'Tis a great furnace of wrath, a wide and bottomless pit, full of the fire of wrath. You hang by a slender thread, with the flames of divine wrath flashing about it, ready to burn it and singe it asunder every moment. And you have no interest in a mediator, nothing to lay hold of to save yourself, Nothing to keep off the flames of wrath. Nothing of your own. Nothing that you ever have done. Nothing that you can do to induce God to spare you one moment.